2.4 billion people. That's 1/3 of the world's population, all following the teachings of a man who lived over 2,000 years ago. How? Why? Stick around to the end of this video, where we'll share a real-life story of transformation, a powerful example of how Jesus' words continue to change lives today. Ready to uncover the timeless truth? Let's dive in. From ancient Judea to the farthest corners of the earth, the teachings of Jesus have transcended time, culture, and geography. But why do his words still resonate so deeply today? In a world driven by technology, convenience, and progress, why do billions still look to a carpenter from Nazareth for answers to life's deepest questions? The answer lies in the profound simplicity and eternal relevance of his message. Today, we're exploring how Jesus' teachings continue to influence lives 2,000 years later. From addressing modern struggles to sparking movements of hope, we'll uncover why his message is more than history. It's a living force shaping the present and the future. Part 1. The challenges of modern life. In a world more connected than ever, why does it feel like we're drifting further apart? Technology was supposed to unite us, yet loneliness is everywhere. Success is at our fingertips, yet so many feel lost, asking, "What's my purpose?" Stay with us as we unravel these paradoxes and explore a path to meaning that has stood the test of time. Asterisk, our modern world is a place of contrasts. On one hand, we've achieved incredible advancements. Instant communication, endless information, boundless opportunities. Yet, beneath the surface, something feels off. Loneliness is at an all-time high. Anxiety and depression rates are climbing. And many of us, despite having so much, feel like we're missing something crucial. Can you relate? Have you ever felt alone in a crowd or caught yourself questioning the purpose of it all? If you have, you're not alone. Let's dive into these challenges. Loneliness. Think about this. While social media allows us to connect with anyone anywhere, it often leaves us feeling more isolated. We scroll through carefully curated lives, wondering why ours doesn't measure up. Aimlessness. With endless choices and opportunities, why do so many of us feel stuck? Maybe it's because the pressure to succeed overshadows the quest for meaning. Moral dilemmas. In a world filled with conflicting values and ideologies, how do we know what's truly right or wrong? These challenges aren't just products of modern times. They reflect something deeper, an ache, a longing for guidance and connection. Humanity has wrestled with these same struggles for centuries. And this is where Jesus' teachings come into play. Asterisk, 2,000 years ago, Jesus spoke to crowds who, like us, faced the uncertainties of life. His words offered something revolutionary: hope, purpose, and peace. Consider these timeless teachings. In Matthew 11, verse 28, he said, "Come to me, all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." He wasn't just offering physical rest, but a deeper kind, a release from the anxieties that weigh us down. Imagine what it would feel like to truly let go of that constant tension and find inner peace. Then there's this challenge. You are the light of the world. Think about that for a moment. It's not just a poetic phrase. It's a call to action. It's an invitation to step out of the shadows, to live with purpose, and to bring hope to others. These aren't rules to follow. They're truths to live by. And here's the most fascinating part. His words didn't stop at comforting hearts. They've sparked movements, transformed lives, and even inspired the way entire societies function. Asterisk, Jesus' teachings weren't about solving surface-level problems. They addressed the core of the human condition, the need for connection, meaning, and clarity. But let me ask you, if these teachings were offered to you today, how would you respond? Would they feel like an anchor in a chaotic world? Or would you question their relevance in your life? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your perspective matters. It could spark a meaningful conversation. Asterisk. Now, here's the thing. These teachings don't just exist in ancient texts. They're alive in the way they continue to shape lives. But how exactly? What does it look like to take these timeless truths and live them out today? Stay with us, because in the next part, we'll dive into real-life examples of people who found hope, clarity, and transformation through these words. And if you're curious to know how these stories unfold, hit that like button and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next chapter of this journey. We'd love to hear from you. What part of today's discussion resonated with you the most? Or maybe there's a challenge you're facing that feels impossible to overcome. Drop a comment below. Let's explore these questions together, because sometimes the answers we seek are closer than we think. Asterisk. Part 2. Real-life examples of transformation. What if a single sentence could change the course of your life? What if ancient words, spoken over 2,000 years ago, still held the power to heal broken hearts, end injustice, and inspire reconciliation today? Stay with us, because the stories we're about to share might just redefine what transformation means for you. Let's begin with Sarah, a young woman navigating the noise of modern life. Like many of us, she was caught in an endless cycle of social media, scrolling through picture-perfect posts and feeling the crushing weight of comparison. On top of that, the pressure to succeed in her career became a constant shadow, robbing her of joy. Then, one sleepless night, she stumbled upon these words. "What good is it to gain the whole world but lose your soul?" It was as if those words pierced through the noise, cutting straight to her heart. Sarah couldn't stop thinking about them. Over the weeks that followed, she began exploring what it meant to nurture her soul, not through external validation, but through internal growth and faith. Today, Sarah uses her story to inspire others. She speaks to students, sharing how Jesus' teachings help her silence the noise and reconnect with her true self. Her life is proof that transformation isn't just about change. It's about rediscovery. But Sarah's story is just the beginning. Asterisk now. Let's turn the clock back to the 18th century, to a man named William Wilberforce. At first glance, Wilberforce seemed like just another ambitious politician. But behind his career was a burning faith, one deeply inspired by Jesus' call to love one's neighbor as oneself. This wasn't a passive love. It was an active, transformative force. Wilberforce saw the horrors of the transatlantic slave trade and knew he couldn't stay silent. With unshakable conviction, he worked tirelessly, facing ridicule, setbacks, and even threats. Yet, his faith gave him the strength to persevere. Decades later, his efforts bore fruit, leading to the abolition of the slave trade, a moment that reshaped history. Wilberforce's story reminds us of a profound truth. Faith isn't confined to personal belief. It has the power to drive action, to fight injustice, and to change the world. Asterisk. Fast forward to the late 20th century, to a nation torn apart by unimaginable tragedy, Rwanda. In 1994, the world witnessed the horror of genocide as neighbor turned against neighbor. When the dust settled, the pain and division seemed insurmountable. How could a country heal from such deep wounds? The answer, for many, came from Jesus' radical teaching. Forgive as the Lord forgave you. In communities across Rwanda, survivors and perpetrators began coming together. Through faith-based reconciliation programs, they embraced the transformative power of forgiveness. Villages that were once battlegrounds became places of healing. One woman, Grace, shared how she forgave the man who took her family's lives. She said, "Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting. It means freeing yourself from the chains of hatred." The story of Rwanda shows us something extraordinary. Even in the darkest moments, faith can plant seeds of hope, healing, and unity. Asterisk. Do these stories resonate with you? Have you seen someone overcome impossible odds or experience a moment of profound change yourself? Maybe it wasn't as dramatic as Sarah's rediscovery, Wilberforce's crusade, or Rwanda's reconciliation, but even small transformations carry profound meaning. Drop a comment below and share your thoughts. Have you ever felt inspired by teachings or moments that seem to transcend time? We'd love to hear your story. Asterisk, asterisk, but wait. There's one more story we need to share, and this one might just leave you speechless. It's a story of hope and healing that transcends borders, beliefs, and generations. It's a story that continues to unfold in the lives of millions today. Stay tuned, because in the next part, we'll dive into a powerful, life-changing moment inspired by the teachings of Jesus. You won't want to miss it. Asterisk, asterisk, if you've made it this far, thank you for joining us on this journey. Transformation is a powerful thing, and stories like these remind us of the hope we all carry within us. So, what's your takeaway from today's stories? Share your reflections in the comments. And if these stories moved you, consider sharing this video with someone who might need a little hope today. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe, because the next chapter in this exploration is one you won't want to miss. Asterisk, Part 3, a life-changing story. What if your lowest moment became the turning point of your life? What if the words you heard in the darkest hour didn't just give you hope, but rewrote your entire story? Tonight, we're diving into a tale so powerful, it might just make you question everything you thought about second chances. And trust me, this one will stay with you long after the screen fades to black. Meet Daniel. By all accounts, his life was in ruins, addicted to substances that dulled his pain, homeless with no one left to turn to, and estranged from the family who once loved him. He had hit rock bottom. For Daniel, every day felt like an endless cycle of despair. He had lost his sense of purpose, his dignity, and any shred of hope that life could ever be different. Until one cold, rainy evening, everything changed. Seeking shelter from the relentless storm, Daniel wandered into a church, not out of faith, but out of desperation. He had no intention of staying. Yet, as he sat in the back pew, trying to stay unnoticed, the pastor's words reached him in an unexpected way. "I have come that they may have life, and have it to the full." The phrase lingered in his mind like a melody he couldn't forget. Something about it felt different. It wasn't a promise to fix everything overnight. It wasn't about perfection or pretending everything was fine. It was an invitation, a glimmer of hope that maybe, just maybe, life could be more than the mess he found himself in. Asterisk, in the weeks that followed, Daniel found himself returning to that church. Not because he had all the answers, but because he craved the peace he felt in those moments. The teachings of Jesus didn't promise to erase his struggles, but they did something far more profound. They began to transform his heart. One night, during a group discussion, someone asked, "What does it mean to live life to the full?" For Daniel, the question was like a mirror reflecting back the life he'd been living, one filled with emptiness and pain. But for the first time, he began to see a way out. With the support of a community that refused to give up on him, Daniel took small, deliberate steps toward change. He sought help for his addiction. He started journaling his thoughts and confronting the pain he had been running from for years. And most importantly, he began to see himself not as a failure, but as someone worthy of love and redemption. Asterisk, today, Daniel's life is unrecognizable from the man who once wandered into that church, broken and hopeless. He now works as a counselor, helping others break free from the chains of addiction. But he doesn't just share strategies or clinical advice. He shares a story. He tells them about the night he heard those life-altering words and how they planted a seed of hope in his heart. He speaks about the strength he found in Jesus' teachings and the peace that carried him through his hardest battles. Daniel's story isn't just about recovery. It's about transformation, about how even in our lowest moments, there's a light waiting to guide us out of the darkness. His journey is proof that while life struggles don't disappear, they no longer have to define us. Asterisk. But now, let me ask you something. Have you ever experienced a moment where everything seemed to fall apart, only to find a spark of hope when you least expected it? Maybe you're in the middle of your own storm right now. Or maybe you know someone who is. Could Daniel's story be a glimpse of what's possible for you, or someone you care about? Drop a comment below and share your thoughts. Whether it's a story of transformation or just a question you've been wrestling with, your voice matters. And who knows, your words might inspire someone else to take the first step toward hope. Asterisk, if Daniel's story moved you, don't keep it to yourself. Share this video with someone who might need to hear it. You never know how one act of kindness, a shared story, could change a life. And if you're new here, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. We're just getting started with stories that reveal the extraordinary power of faith, hope, and resilience. Because at the end of the day, we all need a little light in our darkest moments. And sometimes that light comes from a story like Daniel's. Asterisk, 2,000 years later, Jesus' teachings remain a beacon of hope, calling us to a life of purpose, connection, and transformation. From addressing the deepest struggles of our hearts to inspiring movements of justice and love, his message is as relevant today as it was in ancient times. So, what's your takeaway from this journey? Have Jesus' teachings impacted your life in some way? Or do you feel like you're still searching? Whatever your story, we'd love to hear it in the comments below. Before you go, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Ancient Faith Explorations. Share this video with someone who might need a reminder of the hope Jesus brings. Together, let's explore the timeless truths that continue to shape the world. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Asterisk,